precision placement targets the core, a singular point of control that anchors the entire weight.
Armed with one's nature's most terrifying bites, it fears little on the ground. The horizon is a mirror of heat and mirage, a landscape where the hunter believes itself the master. Every scent is a clue, a chemical map guiding the predator toward its next opportunity. The sun is a blinding shield, hiding the ancient threat that moves with the speed of a falling star. Built for endurance and brute force, its anatomy is a testament to millions of years of successful scavenging. Vigilance is a survival trait, yet the mind is grounded, blind to the vertical dimension of death. Isolation is the first step toward the end. In the vast open, there is no place for the mark to hide. A call for kin goes unanswered. In this moment, the predator stands alone against the sky. Sensory awareness is focused on the immediate, unaware of the atmospheric pressure building above. The rhythm of the hunt begins, a pursuit that will soon be interrupted by a force from another world. The ground provides the anchor, the foundation of its power. But the sky acknowledges no such boundaries. A shift in the frequency of the wind. A primitive instinct screams a warning that cannot be rationalized. The first signal of the end.
In a fraction of a second, the predator realizes it has become the prey.
Reaction is futile. The strike is no longer an event. It is a physical certainty. Anatomical integrity is tested. The plumage transforms into a rigid, aerodynamic shell built for the friction of the fall.
Velocity reaches a critical threshold. The hunter becomes a projectile, Xing out the distance at 200 miles per hour. Vision remains the primary guide. A biological lens shields the eye, ensuring the target remains a singular point of focus.
Friction is the only witness. A ghost of heat follows the predator as it descends from the heavens.
The face of the strike is revealed, a cold, calculated instrument of nature's lethal will.
Power is coiled like a spring. The hydraulic systems of the legs prime for the ultimate deceleration.
Every surface is engaged. Maximum force meets surgical precision in the dying seconds of the fall. Breathing becomes a mechanical feat. Internal valves prevent the lungs from being overwhelmed by the force of the descent.
Total compression. The predator is now a projectile of pure kinetic energy, governed by the laws of ballistics.
Weapons are deployed. Deployment is a release of tension, a momentary pause before the system rearms for the strike. Gravity is the engine, and the target is the destination. The final descent is a work of dark art. The mind processes distance at the speed of thought, correcting the trajectory with every passing foot.
The final lock. Two worlds are about to collide in a single point of impact.
The collision is a calculation of pure physics. A 30,000-foot fall is delivered into a single, devastating point of impact.
Savannah erupts. The silence of the hunt is replaced by the roar of a physical transformation. Earth yields to the sky. The force of the strike is channeled through the target and into the very soil of the plains. The anchor is set. Within milliseconds of impact, the grip becomes a permanent lock that defies any escape.
Stability is reclaimed. The wings become massive air brakes, converting forward motion into a grounded pin.
a silent decree of ownership. The master of the sky claims the master of the ground.
Total structural engagement. Every part of the anatomy is utilized to secure the prize against the earth. Pressure is absolute. The world beneath the claw is reduced to dust under the weight of intent.
A desperate counterattack. The scavenger fights with the fury of a cornered beast, met by the calm reflex of a titan. The dust settles on a new hierarchy. The strike is complete, and the ground has been mastered.
The wings transform from tools of flight into armored barriers, deflecting the lethal counterstrikes of a cornered rival. Equilibrium is weaponized. The hunter uses the prey's own momentum to maintain a position of absolute dominance. Structural stability is found in every limb. The tail becomes a rudder of the earth, bracing against the chaos of the struggle. Psychological dominance is enforced through scale. The shadow of the Sky King grows, smothering any hope of escape. The mechanical lock is absolute. No amount of thrashing can break the bond of the Sky King's anchor. Endurance is the hallmark of the apex. The internal engine burns hot, fueled by the singular intent to prevail. The environment is a tool. The hunter utilizes every obstacle to narrow the target's world until only the claw remains.
Resetting the anchor. A brief defiance of gravity to ensure the next phase of the hunt begins on the hunter's terms.
The ground provides no sanctuary. Every attempt to gain leverage is crushed by the overwhelming mass of the Sky King. The distance between survival and the end is measured in inches. A primal intimacy in the heart of the conflict. Clarity is maintained in the storm. The internal lens ensures the hunter never loses sight of its prize.
The dance on the ground is ending. The system primes for the ultimate transition from combat to flight.
The struggle is silenced. The ground has been mastered, and the sky. The battle against gravity begins with a surge of raw, atmospheric power.
The anchor of the earth is severed. For a predator of the ground, the loss of contact is the beginning of the end.
The hydraulic engine of the sky fires at maximum capacity, funneled into a singular upward trajectory.
Dynamic stabilization is required as the load shifts. The grip adjusts in real time to maintain the center of gravity.
The price of dominance is exhaustion.
A final, desperate reach for the soil. Gravity has been defeated, and the path ahead is clear.
Feathers become structural beams, flexing to absorb the stress of the heavy cargo.
The retreat begins. The world of the pack falls away, replaced by the vast, lonely dimensions of the heights.
Stability is achieved mid-air. The payload is secured against the frame to minimize drag for the long retreat.
Maneuvering with a live weight requires constant calculation, turning a burden into a tool of flight control. Neurological silence follows the struggle. The prey is suspended in a state of absolute submission to the sky. A shadow of death moves across the map of the wild, a signal that the
clarity is restored. The hunter clears the debris of the strike and sets its sights on the distant sanctuary.
Efficiency is found in the glide. The energy of the extraction is now conserved for the journey home.
Toward the fortress of the clouds, where the laws of the ground no longer apply. The removal is absolute. The theater of the strike is left behind, empty and silent. The extraction is complete. The extraction of life, of hope, and of a future claimed by the King of the Sky.
Extraction transitions into a victory lap across the heavens, where the boundaries of the ground no longer exist.
Vision remains the master of the mission. The Sky King navigates a world of thermals and currents with absolute clarity.
Aerodynamic efficiency is reclaimed. The hunter and the prize become a singular, lethal projectile moving through the blue.
The arena of the ground is left behind, replaced by the silent, shifting cathedrals of the atmosphere.
Toward the fortress of the peaks, where the laws of the savannah are rewritten in stone and ice.
Energy management is an art form. The predator harnesses the Earth's heat to fuel its final ascent into the clouds.
Unwavering intent. Through every shift in pressure, the mind remains fixed on the final sanctuary. The storm of the strike has passed. What remains is the calm authority of the undisputed victor. The anchor remains absolute. A bond that was forged in the heat of combat and maintained through the freezing heights.
Is a fortress of stone. The mission concluded. The predator reclaims its throne.
The weight of the hunt is set down. The rules of the sky have been enforced, and the harvest is claimed.
The day belongs to the strike. A silent sentinel of the heights. From here, the King of the Sky watches over a kingdom he has mastered. Into the new night, the cycle continues. The sky is never empty of its master.
The strike is a memory. The flight is eternal. The skybolt remains the final word in the language of survival.